Hello everyone, it's Gladius. So something interesting is happening in the WoW Classic community. WoW Classic players are coming back in droves to jump onto Classic era realms. These are not the Wrath of the Lich King realms. These are the realms that have been frozen at the level 60 vanilla content with no updates for Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King. And no, there hasn't been any update for Classic Plus. There's no second season of Mastery. It is just still the regular season of Mastery that we saw launch earlier. So what is it? Why are players coming back? Well, players are opting to play in an entirely different way than before. WoW Classic players are going hardcore. Let's take a step back and go over exactly what a hardcore game is. Hardcore means that you only have one life to live in the game. So that means once you die, your character is gone and you're starting from the beginning. You can think about this like your last life in Super Mario. The Goomba gets you, you don't respawn, and your game is over. Now transplant that idea into a game where it takes you hundreds of hours to get to the max level of 60. And then let that sink in that at any moment, you're one Murloc punch away from losing all those precious hours you invested in your character. Only to hit the reset button, go back to level 1 in the Elwyn Forest, and begin again and again and again. So what is it? Why are players doing this? Why are they choosing to go through the game in a more difficult way again and again and again? Well, to answer this question, I equipped myself with what I needed to jump into their community and learn a little bit more about the psychology behind the players that are choosing to play Classic in a hardcore way. So step one for me was jumping over to their website, classichc.net. You jump on over to their website, you'll be greeted with a banner that pretty much captures the idea behind their project. Death equals delete. The hardcore community takes the rules seriously, and anyone participating needs to make sure that they review the guidelines that they have in their Discord and also in the app itself. Our first step to joining the hardcore community starts with downloading their add-on. You can access that on their website here. And if this adventure sounds exciting to you, I also have a link in the description for you to go ahead and download it for yourself as well. But to participate, make sure you download the add-on before beginning your run, or you will have to start over. Before we leave their website though, let's go ahead and take a look at the crowning achievement or the ultimate goal of the challenge. They say that your achievement will be immortalized if you are able to reach level 60, then you're going to join the Hall of Legends. Hall of Legends keeps track of all the players that have defeated the challenge and completed the entire journey all the way to level 60 without dying. So mass respect to anyone that's actually achieved this. After equipping the app, I was all set to head on over to the Elwyn Forest and get to know the community behind this very interesting project. Upon logging in at level 1, you're going to be greeted with a hardcore contract. This is where you agree to play by the rules set in their Discord, also described in the app itself. You're also able to set up your run, where you're able to select if you're playing as a trio, duo, or just solo. There are optional achievements where you're able to select and decide if you wanted to do something that makes your run a little bit more difficult. For example, if you're playing a warrior, you can take on the Berserker Challenge. This is where you're only able to equip cloth and leather armor. I'm not going to take on anything like this, but if you wanted to make your run a little bit more interesting, take a look at your class subset options. After setting everything up, you can go ahead and begin adventure. Oh my God, look at them all. It really brings me back to 2019 Classic WoW launch. It's great to see the starting area this populated. My runs progressed smoothly for the first early levels. Highest I got to is actually level 6, which I'm pretty proud of, but I'm pretty sure that's not a great achievement. What I can say from personal experience that each upgrade really feels massive and exciting. Every piece of gear you get, every armor increase just puts you just a little bit farther away from possibly dying. And I could say re-rolling from level 6 to 1 isn't that frustrating, but I can only imagine how frustrating it might be in the case of one of the players I interviewed, level 28 all the way back to 1. On my journey in interviewing players, I found a couple patterns emerge. Like you'd expect, most players have found out about the hardcore community by hearing it through word of mouth, or through watching streamers or YouTubers taking on the challenge as well. And I was surprised to find that players maintained a positive feeling towards the project and the challenge even after losing high-level characters. At least high-level compared to anything that I've achieved so far in the project. A common theme I saw in players coming from other forms of World of Warcraft to Classic Hardcore is that they were a little bit burnt out on the current content and they were interested in doing something new and refreshing. This was for both Dragonflight and also Wrath of the Lich King. The players I interviewed said that they had just gotten a little bit bored with what was currently available in the game, and they were looking for doing something different. But not only that, they were also interested in exploring the world in a different way. Something that made the world of WoW feel a little bit more threatening, a little bit more interesting, having more weight and consequences to their actions. Even if this meant for them to have to roll all the way back and lose time on the character that they were progressing on. After seeing this many positive reactions and positive feelings towards the hardcore project, it really got me wondering. I wonder if Blizzard would ever support a version of the game that would have hardcore available for players seeking that challenge. Maybe a realm dedicated to hardcore players specifically. Personally, if you would have asked me that question even a year back, I would say definitely not, but due to the recent increase in interest in the project and the amount of players that are participating in this, it really has me curious if we could see eventually some hardcore realms being added to World of Warcraft Classic. Who knows, perhaps that could be the next season of Mastery. I can't say for my short time experiencing Hardcore Classic, I have to agree with the players that I interviewed, that there definitely was a significant consequence to each choice that I made in the game, but it also gave a sense of achievement when I overcame the challenges placed by the hardcore mode. I began to think more deeply about my strategy behind killing level 3 kobolds that I never had really before. Every time I got crit or I got parried, I felt the significance of that. And of course, it was hard to top the moment where I was fighting a couple mobs at once. Chill out, dude. Did I get another? That's a level 1 though. That should be fine. That should be fine, right? That's fine. This is fine. I have a bunch of rage. I have 29 health. Go. Do it. Crit. Please crit. You have to crit or I'm dead. You just gotta crit. I have 1 HP. What? And that's what makes hardcore so appealing. Ultimately, my character never did see level 7, because I did fall to a Murloc just shortly after that pull. But the lessons I learned from that, I was able to take into my next run, where I was just planning on not going quite as quickly as I did before. I think the slow and methodical method is just much better for this style of combat. So, what is it about Hardcore WoW Classic that is so appealing to these players? After walking levels 1 through 6 in their shoes, several times I might add, I think I can come away with a few conclusions. One reason is the sense of accomplishment that comes with overcoming difficult challenges. Hardcore WoW players set themselves challenges like beating dungeons only once and with limited gear or help from fellow players. These challenges are often self-imposed, making them even more rewarding when accomplished. Another reason is the sense of community that arises among hardcore players. These players formed a close-knit community sharing tips and strategies for overcoming challenges. The social aspect for Hardcore Classic can be a big draw for players who enjoy the camaraderie and teamwork required to succeed. Hardcore Classic also offers a unique sense of immersion and realism. Unlike games where death is inconsequential, the permadeath nature of this hardcore mode forces the player to confront the reality of mortality and consequences of their actions. This can create a more immersive and engaging experience for the player. Psychologically, the hardcore players have different motivations than other players. Some players are coming to experience the world in a different way than they have in the past, and others are seeking a new challenge. Something new and refreshing that's different than the current patches for both Wrath of the Lich King and Dragonflight. All hardcore players do seem to share one common trait among all of them. When they fall, they just get up again and again and again. So what do you think? Do you think you'd want to take on World of Warcraft Classic? Does having one life in the game seem like a new fun way to experience the game for you? Let me know in the comment section below. And that'll be it for the video today, everyone. If you enjoyed the video today, please heroic strike that like button. And if you want to stay tuned for more WoW content in the future, please slam the subscribe. I appreciate your time today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.